What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, and what's going on in our country here today, money, investing, the stock market, pretty much everything you need to know about. In this video, we're going to hear from Pramila Jayapal, the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, on the latest status of the stimulus package and if the fallout between Mitch McConnell and the stimulus package and Joe Manchin will have any repercussions on getting a deal done on the stimulus package. Joe Manchin was very not happy with Chuck Schumer, and will this have any repercussions later on, as well as will they have problems with raising the debt ceiling here in the next 2 months? Because remember, this agreement is only basically for a 2-month agreement here down the road, as Democrats try to pass this stimulus package, as well as a debt ceiling increase for a longer term duration. And new jobless claim numbers and new jobs gained for the economy come in for last month, and they're terrible. That just shows that our economy is actually getting worse and worse and worse each month, which actually raises the need for more stimulus as things just are not getting better. So we're going to go over all that in this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, and let's jump right in. Also, I want to say happy birthday to my mom. Yesterday, we went out and celebrated her 75th birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. The 75th birthday is a big one, a milestone. So, yeah, happy birthday, Mom. 75 years old. You are the best. And happy birthday. Yeah, we love you. My son Julian loves you. My wife loves you. We all love you. You're just honestly the best. So happy birthday, Mom. Hope you're watching. If not, I'll send you the link. But yeah, you are absolutely amazing. The jobs numbers are in for September, and well, it's another huge disappointment as the amount of jobs that we've been adding month over month are decreasing. As now all the unemployment benefit bonus money, the $300 per week bonus money, is gone completely. And the U.S. economy added only 194,000 jobs for the entire month of September for the entire country. And remember, we have 330 million people in the entire country, yet we added only 194,000 jobs for the entire country, not just for one state, for the entire country. Yeah, this is worse and worse and worse, getting every single month. As you can see here, another headline here from Business Insider says that Biden gambled that cutting off the federal jobless aid would drive people back to work. The September jobs report blew a hole through that idea. Bloomberg reports that U.S. payroll growth misses big again, with the smallest gain of the year yet to date. And as I said, as the months go by, the jobs gains are going like this, and then getting lower, and then getting lower, and then getting lower. And at this rate, we're actually going to see job gains be negative. And remember, we're supposed to be in an economy that's growing and coming out of a recession. We're supposed to be, right? And remember that getting rid of these unemployment bonuses, the $300 per week, it used to be $600 per week, was supposed to send people back to work in droves, right? Remember, everybody said, oh yeah, there's millions of people that aren't going to work because they're making more money staying at home, right? This is what the theory was. This is what a lot of people were saying, right? Oh, they're all making more money staying at home from unemployment bonuses, right? They're getting their unemployment from the state. They're getting this extra $300 per week. So they're making all this money from unemployment, right? This is what a lot of people are saying. So now remember, the 25 Republican states have opted out of the unemployment probably about 2 months ago now at this point. And now they've opted out, the rest of the country has opted out, or basically not opted out, but the unemployment bonuses have ended now. So they're $300 per week. So there's no unemployment bonuses now. It's just the regular unemployment amount. So that is all gone now. And guess what? They didn't just start adding millions and millions of jobs. Things didn't get better. Things actually got worse. We only added 194,000 jobs for the whole month of September. And remember, if we go back to the month of August, we added only 235,000 jobs when they were expecting 720,000 jobs. And the months before that, they were expecting to add 1 million jobs each month before that. So look at how bad the situation has gotten. We've gone from expecting 1 million jobs per month. And in August, they expected 720,000 jobs to be created or added. And they added only 230,000 jobs in the month of August. And now for the month of September, they've added only 194,000 jobs for the entire country for the entire month of September. Things are literally getting worse, and we're supposed to be coming out of the pandemic. We're supposed to be coming out of the recession. And remember, this is the unemployment bonuses are gone. So explain to me why things aren't getting better. There's no more incentive for millions of people to stay at home. There's no more $300 per week bonus money. It's insane. And this really just shows you that we are still really in an economic recession and the pandemic is still very real. Honestly, we still have a lot of people that the pandemic really affects them from going to work. There's a lot of people that just genuinely don't want to go to work because of the pandemic. Maybe they have been sick before and it really affected them. Maybe they have long COVID symptoms and that may affect them. And some people just, everybody has their own situation, but we are in a severe economic situation. And as much as they want to just force everybody back to work, it's not working. It's not working. So all the unemployment bonuses are gone, and yet job numbers, new job creation is going down. At this point, we're probably a month or two away from creating no new jobs per month or even negative new jobs per month, which means we won't be having an economic recovery anymore. We'll be in an economic decline. And what are they going to do then? If that's not a need for more stimulus, what are they going to say then? Because I don't even know what they're going to say. How are they going to? Of course, the Biden administration is going to try to say, "Oh, here's what the Biden administration says," and I'm going to say this from a neutral point of view. They say that the first 3 months of their administration was the most jobs created ever, but you have to remember that that was coming into when they came in, they were coming out of a recession, right? So we are still technically coming out of a recession, right? We're coming out of the pandemic, right? So a lot of people are, or theoretically, going back to work because we were coming out of the closure situation, right? But it's going slowly. The amount of jobs. So in January and February, March, they were expecting to have 1 million jobs created each month. And we're just missing these targets dramatically. And in fact, the numbers are going down, down, down. And they're going down so much that if they continue on this pace, that we're going to be at 0 new jobs created here in a month or two, or negative by the end of the year if the pace continues. And there's no more $300 per week unemployment incentives. So let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to do nothing? Do you think they're going to try to come up with a strategy here? I'm not sure. And let me know, do you think anybody's to blame here? Do you think Republicans are to blame? Do you think Democrats are to blame? Do you think Biden's to blame? Do you think the pandemic's to blame? Do you think this is just the situation that we're dealing with as a country? Um, do you think it's just the virus and we're just trying to deal with it the best we can? It's really a tough situation. I think that we're trying to come out of this the best we can. But remember that the economic recovery from 2008 and 2009, that with the housing crisis, that took us 4 to 5 years to get unemployment back to normal, and that was without a virus. So now we're dealing with an economic crisis that's as bad or worse, and that's with a virus hampering us all along the way. We're dealing with vaccines, we're dealing with that whole situation and mandates, and some people don't want to take them and some people do want to take them. And now, they're mandating things. We have school mandates and stuff like that. And California just issued the first school mandate for children, and that's going to be happening here soon. They say as soon as the FDA fully approves it, and there's going to be a lot of like back and forth battles with that and stuff. And meanwhile, we have people dying every day in addition to this. So it's just like, so 2008, 2009 recovery took 4 to 5 years, and that was without a virus. So I fully think that this is going to take 4 to 5 years, no doubt, because we have just as bad as a recovery or an economic situation plus a virus. Plus a virus. So here's Pramila Jayapal, who's the leader of the Democratic caucus. Remember that the Democrats are going to pass this next stimulus package on their own without any Republicans. Here's what she has to say about passing the next stimulus package and whether or not the situation between Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer over the debt ceiling, her perspective on it, and Joe Manchin is going to hinder the situation or not, how they move forward and pass the stimulus package going forward. Check this out.
Congresswoman, great to see you as always. So, Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, who support Democrats need to pass the Biden agenda, said that Schumer's remarks were not appropriate and that, quote, civility is gone and I'm not going to be part of getting rid of it. I'm sure that you don't disagree with what Schumer said, but do you disagree with the idea that lowering the temperature right now might be a good thing for the country?
Well, Jake, it's good to be with you. I do think that, we're all playing on the same team. I do understand Senator Schumer's frustration because this has always been a bipartisan thing, raising the debt ceiling. Democrats have gone along with Republican administrations, vice versa. This is, of course, about debt that was increased by $8 trillion over the last 4 years because of Republican administration. There were Republican tax cuts. But, I always say if you win, maybe just win and celebrate the win, and then you can always bring those things up later. But I can only imagine the stress that the Senate Majority Leader has been under to get to this point. So let's just move on now. We did that. We gave us a couple of extra months. It's not the ideal thing. I wish we weren't just kicking the can down the road, but it's important that we don't default on this. And that the world knows that the United States is good for our obligations.
So this temporary reprieve allows Democrats to focus on passing President Biden's economic plans, the infrastructure bill, and of course the Build Back Better Act. According to the AP, you told President Biden that the compromise for the Build Back Better Act of around $2 trillion, it's too low, you said. You think it needs to be closer to $3 trillion. If you cannot get it through the Senate, though, if the only way you can get it through the Senate to get Manchin's vote, to get Sinema's vote, is having it be at $1.9 or $2 trillion, isn't something better than nothing?
Well, Jake, I always think about that something better than nothing phrase as being good for something at the end of negotiations. We haven't even negotiated yet. There was a deal that was passed. It was $3.5 trillion. Now we understand the number has to come down because there are 2 Democrats out of all. 98% are there on 3.5 and what's in the Build Back Better Act, and with the president and with 70% of the American people who want us to pass it. But I understand we got to get 2 more on board. And so we will do what we need to do to make sure we get everybody on board. But I just want to be clear, the number comes out of the programs. So what we really need, and Senators Manchin and Sinema have different things that they each want. So I think it's really important that the two of them get together and agree, and then also put forward a proposal to the other 98% about what they agree on in terms of what we need to do, because everyone else agrees. And so that's the process we're in right now. We will negotiate. We understand we have to get everyone on board. But yes, of course, I want to keep it as close as I can to at least 3 trillion, because we have a lot of things we want to do. Final point on this, Jake. Remember that 3 trillion or 3.5 trillion is over 10 years.
Right.
So if you divide that out, it's very little each year. And we spend 750 billion on the Pentagon every year. And at the end of the day, this is all going to be paid for through taxes on the wealthiest individuals and corporations. So as the president says, it's a $0 bill.
Yeah, I mean, $300 billion a year is still a lot of money, but I understand your point. We know that one of Senator Manchin's concerns is that he views the benefits as they should only go to people who really need these benefits. For example, he wouldn't want everyone to be eligible for pre-K for families. He wants it to only go to people who need the government to provide it for them. Families who make more than $200,000 a year, $400,000 a year, whatever, they should be paying for it out of their own pocket. We hear that President Biden is reportedly saying that he could theoretically support that, means testing some of these programs. I know it's a goal to have universal pre-K, universal elder care, et cetera, but would you be willing to support means testing so that only the people who need it? I don't need free pre-K.
Yeah. I think it depends on really how it's structured, because if you had, for example, a 7% universal cap on childcare, that is a form of means testing, because you're saying everyone has to pay 7% of their income. So the wealthiest people are not going to be able to pay enough childcare to reach that 7% cap, right? So that is a form, but it's very simple and it's universal, and it adjusts to the income levels of high cost areas. So, for example, an area like mine, where we passed $15 minimum wage 10 years ago, is high cost of living, high housing costs, very dense, no housing available, and childcare is like $2,800 a month. So, two school teachers earning 68,000 are in the working class contingent. So that's why we have to be very careful about means testing. I will also say that means testing is incredibly bureaucratic. It takes a lot of administrative work, and sometimes it actually costs so much and is so complicated that the very people that need to get the benefit are dissuaded from doing it because it's too complicated. So let's look at all of those things. But I think it's important that we make these as universal as possible, because it's also easy to explain. You don't have to go through 21 pages to figure out whether or not you qualify.
Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington State, the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I think they're moving forward towards a negotiation here between Senator Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, and the president, and Pramila Jayapal, the Progressive Caucus. President Biden and Joe Manchin just met here within the last, I think it was 48 hours or so. They had a closed door meeting between Joe Manchin and President Biden again. So they are meeting on a regular basis to come to negotiation terms for this package. So we have recent news from Joe Manchin that he has come up from $1.5 trillion to as high as $2.2 trillion. So that is a significant increase, because that's a 50% increase to go from $1.5 trillion to as high as $2.2 trillion. So before, Joe Manchin says he wasn't willing to go past $1.5 trillion at all. So that alone, a 50% increase from him, is a big deal. So now Pramila Jayapal says that she wants no lower than 2.5 trillion. She wants between 2.5 to 2.9 trillion dollars. So it looks like we're still going to be somewhere in the $2 trillion range I don't know, anywhere from 2 trillion to 2.9 trillion dollars, where before the bill was 3.5 trillion dollars. But remember, the Senate parliamentarian, which is kind of she's a non-elected official that rules on things that can be included through the reconciliation process, which is the process that you can pass bills without 60 votes, which is how the Democrats are going to pass this bill, ruled that immigration reform could not be included in there. That alone is several $100 billion. So that alone is going to take the bill from $3.5 trillion closer to $3 trillion alone. A lot of Democrats are not happy about that. In fact, the protesters that protested Kirsten Sinema in that infamous bathroom scene, they were protesting her on immigration reform. But I don't know if they know this or not, but the Senate parliamentarian actually ruled that the pathway to citizenship and the immigration reform was actually removed by the Senate parliamentarian. So Kirsten Sinema doesn't even have a say in the matter, and Joe Manchin doesn't even have a say in the matter. The Senate parliamentarian actually removed it from the bill. Now, the Democrats can try to put it in there, but it's very unlikely that it will be passed without the Senate parliamentarian's recommendation. So yeah, now that will reduce the size of the bill. They're going to have to reduce the size of the bill anyways to get into that $2 trillion range, anyways. So the Senate parliamentarian kind of did the Democrats a favor, in a way. The immigration reform is one of the more unpopular things, anyways, with the average American people, because it's just not one of the more popular things because it just, I don't know, isn't. Um, if you look at the polling results, for the people that are here, a lot of people are not very popular with immigration things for people that aren't already citizens. So yeah, I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on, if you're pro immigration or not. But a lot of people think that stimulus items should be for people that are already tax paying citizens here, should be taken care of here, and that we should stop spending billions of dollars on Afghan refugees and billions of dollars on other countries as well. And I tend to agree with that as well, um, for the most part. I do see some, and again, as a realist, I can kind of, you could put me on a debate team, and I could argue either side of the fence. So you could say, "Hey, Jimmy, argue pro immigration or against immigration," and I could sit here and argue either side of the fence, and I could do it. So I can see both sides of the fence, but I do tend to lean towards that we should not be spending billions and billions of dollars on other countries. And I just don't think that, I think that we should be spending money on our country first. And I tend to think that we should be the priority before we start spending billions and billions and trillions of dollars on other countries. But you can let me know your thoughts if you have a different opinion. I know I'll get a lot of thoughts in the comments, and some will be for that, some will be against that. But that's the beauty of our country, is that we have lots and lots of opinions, and some agree, some don't. And I always try to look at things from a middle road point of view, some for, some against. But let me know your thoughts. But that's the thing, is right now is they're going through this process of reducing the size of the package, like Pramila Jayapal says, mainly for two Democrats, Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. So the question is, they're going to have to come to an agreement on a top line number and then see what they can fit in the package. And we're probably going to get there within the next few days, and then see what they can fit in the package. So I will keep you up to date on everything. And we just had big information on student loan forgiveness. I will link you to a video I just did in the last video on student loan forgiveness. If you didn't see that, or if you want more information on that, I'll link you to that here in a moment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date on everything going on in our country, as well as the next stimulus package and news you need to know about. You can click here to watch my newest video. This is the video on student loan forgiveness, and this video on 2 or 3 different Social Security raises coming up in the near future as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.